Hello, then. Welcome to the Business Report at 3 on Voice of the People 90.3. My name is Esther Wachuku. First, let's take a look at the focal points. Now, it begins with midstream downstream operators getting fresh regulations. Federal government faults foreign airlines over blocked funds, others. Islamic Bank approves $1.8 billion to finance Nigerian projects. And Lagos firm unveil mechanism for residents to acquire land house with ease. Details now. In accelerating the full implementation of key provisions of the 2021 Petroleum Industry Act, the federal government has developed 12 new regulations for the midstream and downstream operators. The Chief Executive, Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Engineer Farouk Ahmed, revealed this on Monday at the ongoing 16th Oil Trading and Logistics Expo, which held in Lagos. According to him, the regulations were currently being finalized and the process of their issuance and gazetting would commence soon. Farouk said the authority was also strengthening the domestic gas market for enhanced performance through emplacement of new regulatory regimes for wholesale gas supply, domestic gas market aggregation, and open access, noting that it was reviewing pricing models for all petroleum products in the downstream supply chain. According to NMDPRA Chief Executive, collaboration with the Nigerian Customs Services has led to the suspension of import licenses for land border importation of petroleum products in order to eliminate sharp practices and enhance quality control. He assured that they would continue to support investment growth and expansion of the midstream and downstream sectors by facilitating and co-investing through the midstream and downstream gas infrastructure fund in viable infrastructure projects. Meanwhile, the federal government has dismissed threats by foreign airlines to suspend operations in Nigeria over their inability to repatriate their blocked forex from the country. The Minister of Aviation, Senator Hadi Sirika, said that Nigeria would fare better if foreign airlines boycott the country, as the government has developed the capacity to face the challenges. Sirika made the statement in Abuja on Monday at the continued negotiations following the intervention of the House of Representatives in the conflict between the Nigerian government and some operators under the International Air Transport Association. Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, had called the roundtable over threats by Emirates Airline and British Airways to suspend their operations in Nigeria. Now, in a bid to drive economic growth in Nigeria, the Islamic Development Bank has sanctioned $1.8 billion to finance several key projects in the country. This was disclosed by the president of the Saudi-based bank, Dr. Mohammed Jasser, at a meeting with the Finance Minister, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, in Abuja on Monday. Jasser disclosed that the Islamic Development Bank's portfolio in Nigeria stood at $1.2 billion, noting that the bank had completed 35% of those projects and looked forward to strengthening the bilateral and regional initiatives with Nigeria. He said the bank's portfolio covered 15 states of the Federation, commending the federal government for its economic diversification initiatives. The Islamic Development Bank is a multilateral development finance institution focusing on infrastructure development and has 57 shareholding member states, with Nigeria holding a 8.75% equity. Meanwhile, the federal government on Monday revealed that its latest findings show that about 1.2 million barrels of crude oil was consistently shut in by producers across various oil wells in the Niger Delta due to the incessant oil thefts in the industry. It also stated that current statistics show that the volume of oil lost to theft in Nigeria was about 100,000 barrels per day, translating to an estimated 3 million barrels every month. The government made this disclosure through its Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission at the press briefing in Abuja, as it further stated that the country's gas reserves had risen to 208 trillion standard cubic feet. Meanwhile, Nigerians may have to brace themselves for a surge in the price of a 50-kilogram bag of locally parboiled rice to as high as 50,000 naira before December on the back of the floods in many states. Traders and distributors of the commodity have exclaimed. Flood incidents in Africa's biggest economy have destroyed about 70,566 hectares of farmland, damaged 45,249 houses, and displaced over 1.4 million Nigerians, with about 600 persons reported dead. And this is according to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, who have also exclaimed that the situation has sent prices of food items on an upward trajectory, especially in affected communities. Rice, a key staple mostly consumed by households, have been affected the most by the impact of the flood. The situation has caused the price of paddy to jump from 200,000 naira to 300,000 naira per ton in 3 weeks, owing to the flood. The recent jump in paddy prices is piling more pressure on rice millers that are already contending with rising production costs amid a nearly threefold increase in diesel cost. In September, the country's inflation hit a 17-year high at 20.7%, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. Mohammed Abubakar, chairman of the Rice Processors Association of Nigeria, said the recent surge in the price of a bag of rice is a result of a combination of issues escalated by the floods. While in Lagos, the Eco Token Initiative for Lagosians has partnered with Reality Invest Network Solutions Limited towards ensuring the residents can own a landed property and pay rent in Lagos and other parts of the country. Making the declaration at an event to unveil the program in Lagos, the representative of Eco Token, Simi Adeoye, said the initiative is to give soft landing to citizens and residents of the state to be proud owners of what they can call their abode. She said that arrangements have been made to make all residents owners of a house, adding that Lagosians would now be able to buy a land and house through raffle. According to her, she explained that the initiative is most importantly to improve the life of the citizens and also offer them a life cash opportunity which ranges between 5,000 naira to 100 million naira respectively. Simi Adeoye, representing Eco Token Program, noted that the program has changed many lives in the past 1 year. Meanwhile, in Lagos as well, there is confusion in the commercial capital as queues resurfaced in filling stations across the metropolis on Tuesday morning. The long queues were also noticed along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Ikorodu Road and Lagos Island. Motorists queued for hours at filling stations in different parts of the city, seeking to purchase fuel, with some spending as much as 6 hours or more. Michael Satuyi, National Operations Controller IPMAN, said his association is following the development, but there is nothing concrete yet. He says, and I quote, "We noticed it too and believe the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited must have also observed it. We expect them to work on it in terms of increasing supply. Let us watch and see what will happen in the next 4 days," end quote. In addition, the controller said his members are already buying at a higher price but will observe till Wednesday before taking any action. And just before we wrap up the Business Report at 3, let's take a look at the focal points. You heard that midstream, downstream operators against fresh regulations. The federal government has faulted foreign airlines over blocked funds, including others. Islamic Bank approves $1.8 billion to finance Nigerian projects. And Lagos firm unveil mechanism for residents to acquire land, house with ease. And that is a wrap on the Business Report at 3 on Voice of the People 90.3. My name is Esther Wachukudu. Follow our social media platforms at VOP 903 FM. Good afternoon.